Hello you, welcome to Geekism. This is a quick update video to show you a really super quick overview of all the new features that have come in 1.3 today. If you want to look at a more in-depth through, you can check out the archive video of our live stream that we did today. But if you want a quick overview of all the new stuff, then this is where you want to be. One of the first major new features is the display sequencer. It can be found in scenery and is a single object. It's got its own little menu for some reason. Single little tiny object that can be placed down wherever you like. And then when you click it, it gives you this whole new menu, and this is basically a way of activating triggerable items without having to attach them to a ride. So for instance, if we place down this exploding barrel, click on the sequencer and click Make Trigger Sequence, and then click a new display group, and inside that display group select our barrel here and click Confirm, and then when this little sequence goes off here, it explodes the barrel. And with this discrete sequencer, you can select it to go off at different times and different ways. So if we click Done here, we go back to this main screen. On the scheduler screen, we can click here to activate on trigger, so as we can still set it off to go when a ride goes past, but also we can put it to be looping and also on a trigger, so we can go every hour or when a trigger kicks off. Specific times of the day in the game, so we can put it down to happen at sort of 10 PM. That would be great for sort of fireworks shows, or you can have it to just constantly be running on a loop, like so. I'll be doing a full video on the channel this week on how to use the display sequencer and how to get the most out of all of its features. One of the main things that you're going to be setting off with your sequencer are the new fireworks. They can be found in special effects, and then they're under their own tab. There are over 30 different fireworks. Each of the fireworks themselves are either small or large variations of different fireworks, and each of them are completely colorable as well. So you have so much choice you can choose from. Again, these will all be able to be set off. If we click here, we can add a display group and connect all three of these to it and click confirm, and then when we press play, they'll all shoot off there like that. Let's see if we can get up here and see them. Wow, look at that, fantastic. So you can set up your own very intricate displays, or you can use one of the new blueprints. That's right, there are 8 different blueprints of fireworks. If you click into scenery, blueprint and fireworks, you'll see them all along here like that. They all have a sequencer built into them as well. So if we click on there, and then let's get a good view that we've got going on here, and let's set it to nighttime as well. And we click play up here, we'll be able to see this now. They are completely built in, set up, ready to go. So if you're not that creative or don't want to really sit and worry about setting all these up in the first place, you can use some of the blueprints in there as well. Personally, the other huge feature of this update, probably in my opinion the biggest feature of the update, are billboards. There are various sizes and shapes. There are large billboards, which are these ones here. They go from 4, 8, 16 and 32 meters, and then there are TV screens. These are much smaller. We'll zoom in and have a look at those in a second. And then there are also these panel walls as well. There are a lit and non-lit version of each one, so there's half of them are luminescent and half of them aren't, which is a really great option. So the large ones here, they're all just sort of random squares. The TV screens themselves actually have a little lip on them, so they actually have the effect of a TV, and the backs of those are really well decorated as well. You can see here they actually have different sort of brackets and things installed onto the back of them, which is great. And these ones here, these are the exact same size as the wall pieces. So if we click down here and place a couple of 4-meter walls, let's find them real quick. There we go. Click on like so, and a 2-meter wall as well. There we go. If we now go back to our scenery and select the billboard screens here, and by holding down F, they fit perfectly onto the pieces where they should. There we go, and it gives you the option to create your own wall textures. Once you click into a billboard, you'll get a screen that looks like this. You can choose an image. So we have various sort of Chief Beef images. The ones that come with the game are all sort of adverts for the shops in there. There we go, and you can do the same on the video screens as well. The video screens themselves, well, all of them in fact, you can have videos too. There we go, look at that, it's already done. We'll bring that down and have a good look at it. There we go, whoopsie daisy, let's bring it around here. And there we go. These really open up the game, in my opinion. It's the first sort of level of UCC that we have, the first custom content we have. I'm already seeing stuff on Twitter and Facebook of what we can do with these. I can't wait to dive in. There will be a full video later this week, showing you how to import your own stuff here and how to save videos in the correct format and where to find videos that you can use and stuff like that for Billboards later this week. That'll be up. The trigger system that's very popular in coasters is now available in flat rides as well. So when you click down to sequence, you can click in any of these sequences here. You can make one of them a trigger sequence. So here we go. In the flat spin, you can trigger items like you would normally. This is going to be really useful for some of the flat rides, creating sort of water sprays on some of the spinning rides, or fire effects on Gears of Fear, or whatever it's called. Really great option there. Going to see some really cool results, I think, with that. Another new feature of the display sequencer here. Again, we're going to go over this in a separate video, but you can now add cameras. These are invisible markers that sit on your screen. Oopsie daisy. Let's do that again, shall we? Edit cameras. No, can we do it? There we go. There we go. So you can move around in first person. You can find where you want to be, and you can set cameras up. This is mainly made so that you get good shots of the fireworks, like so. We'll click Add Camera there, and then we'll move around and find another one. But I think the options here are going to be really useful for doing POVs of rides, I think. Then we'll click down and click Done. And then once you've done that, you can enter the display camera mode, and by using, if you move your monitor here so that the UI goes away, you can use the up and down arrows to skip between cameras you've got set up. Really useful. There are loads of other things you can do with display sequencers, like setting up extra speakers for when you do your fireworks shows on a night time and things like that. Again, we'll cover it all in a video dedicated to it later this week. Heading over to our work in progress Mayan Temple Discovery dueling coasters, you can now colour the track of a dueling coaster, of a wooden coaster, excuse me. So we click a lovely sort of off yellowy colour there. We get that horrendous colour now as part of the wood. Really great for doing some like old school seaside woodies, with the white tracks, but also good for in general theming rides. I definitely think we're going to do some bit of work here to make these two coasters look a little bit different, but maybe not that colour. Here's a little thing that almost went under the radar. No clip camera toggle. If you go into settings and go to camera, scroll all the way down, you've got a little no clip option there. What this now does is that when you're pushing through your camera, especially when you're on T and in a different view, you can actually come right down. I don't know if it'll let you do it in the ground. Oh, it does, look. There you go. And it lets you completely clip in. Now, obviously, this doesn't seem... What on earth is that there? Oh, it's a pigeon. The backside of a pigeon. Doesn't seem particularly useful in the ground, but when you're coming to work in coasters such as this log flume here, whoop, we can just jump straight in and into the areas rather than having to follow the track around into the gaps. Really useful. We can come down here. We should end up in Tortuga if we keep going. And there we go. Oh god, this is such a useful feature. Look at that. Very useful. Moving on to some rides, we have 3 new flat rides, although you can hardly call this one flat. It is an observation tower. It is absolutely ginormous. Really nice looking bit of gear. I can't wait to put this in the park, actually. I think it looks really great. It has a really nice interior as well. We move around to interest, you'll be able to see, look, really nicely decorated seats and a seating area and walk around area as well, and you get a really nice view of the park. Look at that as we go across through our pirate area and into the western area there as well. Really great stuff. Look forward to putting that into the park. We also have this bad boy. This is called Blackouts. It is a inverted swinging ship, although it's a different kind of ship to the pirate ship. This is a spaceship. Really nicely designed. Again, it's fully colourable. Back to a little bit more like the old school, the original games that they brought out, the original rides that they brought out, where they're quite heavily themed. Like I see, this one obviously has a very spacey theme, but overall I think it's really, really nice, and it looks really great as it goes around as well. Really nice physics. And the last one, another swinger. This time, this is called the Iron Claw, very similar to the Maelstrom in Drayton Manor in the UK, if you know it. A sort of spinny, piratey type ship. Again, it's crazy, but I love these that are giving a bit of height to the game as well. When the game started, we had a lot of sort of flat spinning things like the teacups. Now we're getting a lot of height in the flat rides. I think they're really nice additions. Moving on to the coasters, a few new coasters. First one is called the Power Up. Apparently this is a real thing. I've never seen one of these in real life, but my hell, it is crazy. It has a vertical lift here, and it then goes incredibly, I mean, it turns upside down while it's on the lift, and then it goes into this crazy heartline roll and back down to the coaster. That's it. Really, really crazy. I'm sure there's more you can do with it. This isn't a blueprint though. This is basically what they showed in the live stream. But you get this really crazy heartline roll, and then it comes back down into the station. That's kind of what happens. It's going around twice apparently. Oh no, it's finding its way back down again. I don't know. Really mental. I have no idea what this is meant to look like. This next one is another crazy one. I mean, they look awesome. They're very, very peculiar. But there's so much you can do with them, I think. But these are just sort of like the base. So this is kind of what they look like in real life when they're used. But obviously, these are fully customizable. You can add your own pieces in between. This one here, it's launched from the station back and forth, and you can actually run it through the station multiple times as well. A really great feature, something I'd love to see them implement into some of the other coasters like the Mine Train, for instance. I'd love that to go around twice. But yeah, this is called the Viper 1, a multi-launch twisted impulse limb shuttle coaster. I mean, you don't come to me for coaster knowledge. I'm not the guy. I'm sure Silverette will do some great videos on the intricacies of these, but I mean, look at this thing. It looks like well, I don't know what it looks like. Next up, this is more like it. I can understand this one. This is called the Nala. It's a new wooden coaster. It's very similar to the other ones in regards to the actual track and the and the sort of base of it and the supports, but it's got a new style car itself, and obviously it comes standard as white. It's a little bit tighter, a little bit smaller. Great for sort of like the end of the pier type stuff, the old Coney Island, very sort of traditional ride as well. Apologies for the look of this thing. I've just literally threw it together in about 30 seconds to get a video out. But here we go. Let's ride this death coaster. Whee! That's not too bad. It comes around there. That's horrific. There we go. Okay, and it comes over. So again, you can hear that great sound of the wooden coaster. Yeah, apologies for this coaster, really, but I just wanted to show you, have a look, because it doesn't come with the blueprints, unfortunately. There you go, you'd be dead now. There you go, that's what we like to see. Good bit of death on our coasters. There we go, and it comes back into the station. So really great looking, right? If you're doing sort of like a seaside type thing or anything like that, this is probably the wooden coaster to go for. The last two coasters are known as the Degen and the Bolt. These are basically two coasters already in the game with opposite coaster cars on them. So this is the sit-down boomerang coaster car onto the looping coaster track, and the looping coaster car, which is the American Arrow one there, on the boomerang coaster track. So they just give you some more options with editing and different sort of coasters you want. And I think people who are really into coasters will probably find this stuff very useful for making more accurate representations of real world coasters. For us, it's just another box, another one we can use when we're building our cool coasters. There are a couple of new ride blueprints. One is for the Monster, the traditional sort of wooden coaster. It's called Tornado. Looks great. I've got a feeling it's going to look pretty good and nice as well. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it does. Look at that. It's Tornado. It's got loads of cool signage around it. Very nice. Again, just a very sort of end of the pier, squeezed in wooden coaster down on the beachfront there. Looks really, really good. And the other one is another track ride suitable for, I think it's car track ride, this one, and it's sort of set out to look like a steam engine. I think actually the whole thing could probably come a little lower. Let's just drop it down a little. Oh, it's missing all sorts of different things up. I'll tell you what, we're probably best placing it properly and doing it. So let's just get rid of them. We'll lose that tree as well. Track rides, blueprints. Here it is. It's called Steam. It's very neat, and it fits quite nicely just there, like so. Again, these aren't sort of things we're going to be using ourselves on the channel, but they're nice for people who just want to fill a bit of space or aren't necessarily feeling very creative. But also, it's quite a nice idea to get a look at some of the cool ideas. I mean, this pipe work is fantastic. So the options are there. Next up, then, the new scenery pieces. Now, if I'm honest with you, this is probably the weakest part of the update for me personally. If you take away the fireworks and the billboards, that are both fantastic. Actual new scenery items, there's not really that much there. I mean, the stuff we've got is pretty nice, but I don't know. I would maybe like a little bit more here. But the billboards and the fireworks do make up for it. But yeah, a couple of more pieces would have been nicer. We have a new set of bunting with an American flag design, and we have the same set with colours that are adjustable. which is pretty good. And these are really nice. You might not be able to see, but they actually do wave a little. They have a very slight sort of wave to them, which is really, really nice as well. The attention to detail is fantastic. So we have both of those sets. We also have these gigantic balloons and also a smaller 2 balloon pieces for you to make sort of arches and things like this. I mean, these are just ridiculous, but you know, they look great. The detail on them is fantastic. The fact that the balloon bunches up and stuff. Very specific use case, but they are awesome, and I love the idea of them, and hopefully they are a sort of sign of things to come. You know, more of these sort of pieces, you know, maybe even parades or stuff would be nice. And the only other new thing I could find was this little Western sort of bar piano setup. The picture of Ellie on the top of the mantle there of the piano, and you get each of those pieces separate as well to do with as you wish. So nice pieces, but you know, I would like to have seen a little bit more there perhaps. Couple more things. There are 3 new career modes. If we come around here and find Ellie, there she is on the west coast of the States. Miss Ellie's Diner, a fantastic 1950s looking diner with a really cool wooden coaster that needs you to develop the park itself. Goldmine Tower, a really nice looking western park that is actually created using assets built by YouTubers. So Silverette's built a weenie, Advo TV, and Rudy Renkerman, I think, and a few other people as well, I'm sorry if I can't remember your name, have created the assets that have gone into making that park. It also has a really, really great firework display already set up there. And finally, we have Starship Hangar, a really great looking sci-fi park in the desert that requires you to actually build firework displays to pass it, and it actually takes into account how long the people watch them for and how impressed they are with them. Really great to see that these creative features are being fed back into the simulation, back into the management side of things. And last but by no means least, your avatar can now have a pretty sweet Uncle Sam hat. Look at that hairdo, how fantastic. I think there might be a t-shirt as well, perhaps. No, I'm sure they said there was something else. Let's have a look. Uncle Sam and Owen Liberty hats. Oh yeah, Statue of Liberty, look at that, how good. And these hats are both available in Hats Fantastic as well, so you'll see your guests wandering around wearing these as well. Right, that's all we've got time for. Thank you so much for watching. There have been a load of bug fixes as well, but there's no point in me really going through them. I'll put a link in the description to the entire the entire update notes. There's loads and loads and loads, pages and pages of stuff that they've done, little tweaks, little add-ons, little things that haven't felt like worth mentioning here. New face, hair, body and legs for slim teen females is one of the things. I don't even know what half this stuff means, but there's so much there. Really fantastic update, especially still considering it's free. Frontier are just too good to us. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. It really does help out the channel. And if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe. Any thoughts, queries or suggestions, pop it down in the comments. And if you fancy a chat, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at John T. Sparrow. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.